Okay, we're good. Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another intermission here. This is, like I said, this is the odds and ends stuff that I talk about that I usually don't talk about in my other videos, like Tales from the Stash or the Workbench Journal. So, let me fix this camera a little bit. So, as you guys know, I haven't been building lately. Not just because it's a lot more to it than just not in a mood to build or in a funk. I have a lot going on. You know, a whole lot. I got another kid on the way. It's a girl, by the way, folks. So she's supposed to be here around mid to late September timeframe. Could be October. Who knows? You never know. So I got that going on. So I'll be having two kids, one of each. So my hands are going to be quite full. The other reason is, even though is not so much work. Matter of fact, work has been, I shouldn't say has been, actually slowed down a little bit since about March. It started slowing down a little bit. The hours are back to normal. I was working hard for quite a while, from I think May of last year on. Working long hours, big projects. You never know. It could be the same old, same old. However, we got some more work on the way, so that may change one way or another. We'll find out when we get to it. Another thing is, I'm in a funk. It's more than just a modeler's funk or a building funk. I've actually been pretty down for a pretty long while. I've been trying to get things going, and I couldn't get anything rolled. I just got lost in the process of making sure my wife is okay, my son's okay. I didn't realize it until I sat down, or my younger brother, one of the two. My younger brother looked at me and said, "You okay, man? You ain't right lately." And I really haven't talked to anybody. I kind of kept myself isolated from everybody. I guess because I was just tired and I didn't want anybody to hear how I felt at the moment. So that has something to do with it. It's nothing horrifying. It's not like my life sucks, or or any horror stories or anything else. It's just funk. That's all it is. It's just a case of the blues, and just gotta get myself back in order. That's all there is to it. I'll be okay. It's just, I should have known when I have 3 half-built kits. I'll reach a certain point, and it'd be like, you know what? I'm done with that. Or I don't feel like doing it. Or I just get easily distracted and I just forget about it for a while. I have got an A4 Skyhawk kit from Moscow I gotta work on. I still got an old Monogram Phantom I'm still gotta finish up. I got an Academy M60, which is built as an Israeli version, I gotta finish. And I got a couple others in the back, but those were over the years. Matter of fact, the one I have is the old Dragon M1 Abrams, which I never really got around to finishing, and that was, I don't know why I stopped doing that. So, like you said, it's just blues, and so I did what usually works for me. I purposely stop, clean up my workbench, focus on my kids, or my kid right now, my wife, focus on work, try to get everything in order, and once things get better, I'll sit down and I'll start building again. Don't know when that's going to happen, though. For as long as I've built, I've always had those moments where I just stop and step away from the workbench for a while, because when it's too much, it's too much. It's just time to stop. So, who knows how long this is going to be for. I've had a couple of funks like this, but not related to anything else. For example, I was tired the last time was actually in, I think, 2006, when I was moving back to my hometown, and I just didn't touch work on anything for a while. Just took a breather, stayed away from everything. That was the end of it, because I knew it was just not a good place. And when I'm not in a good place, I don't want to do anything. So I should have known the signs, because and after I put everything to the side on the shelf, sorry about bouncing back and forth, by the way, kids. And I was looking at the next project I was itching to build. I had a Kinetic FA18 Hornet kit, which I talked about in previous videos. And I just looked at it, I was like, I don't want to do this. No, don't want to do it. So I reorganized and I started. I still got quite a bit to clean up on the bench, but it's a lot better than it was before. And I put my paints away. I cleaned up my airbrush. I have two of them. I have the Badger Anthem series, and I also have the Badger 350 single action airbrush. The single action is my personal favorite because I use that one a lot. I've used it a lot over the years, and even though I've used double action airbrushes, the 350 has always been my standby and my favorite because I've learned how it was one of the first airbrushes I learned how to use, and it's cheap, it's rugged, it's reliable, easy to maintain. So I cleaned it out. I know I'm going to have to get some new tips eventually because the tips I've had, I've always switched them as I went. They clog up, go clean them out, put them in, let them clean off for a while, put the new one in its place, or cleaned out one in its place, go back to what I'm doing. So I cleaned out all the tips I had. A couple of them I do got to replace. So fortunately, they're cheap and they're easy to find. So that'll be the end of that. Still getting the hang of my Badger Anthem airbrush. It's a little different as compared to what I used to use. I've worked with a Badger 200, or was it 150? Well, I did have a 200 for a little while, but until I found out the 350 worked a lot better. I did use a Badger 150 for a little while. I don't know where I put that. I think I had lent it to a friend until he got his own airbrush. And that was a great airbrush. It worked wonders. I've also used Aztec. Aztec ain't bad. Aztec's not bad. Testers owns Aztec, or Aztec is a part of Testers. I don't remember which. And it was a pretty good airbrush. The problem is I can't use them because I'm very heavy-handed. Working as a welder and stuff, I'm pretty heavy-handed. Very heavy. So everything I use is it's full-bore crunch, not finesse or gentle. I'm crunch like that. You see the grooves of my hammer, probably, with that kind of thing. So I'm still getting the hang of the airbrush. The compressor's still in good shape. I got that from Harbor Freight. I don't use it that often, so it made it past a year. Good sign. Otherwise, it's a funk. It's all I can do for now. So I just, until that funk lifts, this is all I'm really doing. Just tinkering, puttering, sorting out the shelf here, looking at things, doing research. A lot of research. I actually did some research on a few. I already mentioned about Hornets. Looked at the intruders. I'll probably talk about the Hobby Boss intruder in a future video for Tales from the Stash. I got some new paints I've been tinkering with. Of course, I got a live color here, which isn't a bad paint. I started using the Vallejo again, I've been using the Vallejo, as you can tell right here. We'll talk about those. I might do a separate category for that stuff. Tools of the trade, who knows. My paintbrushes are still good. I'm actually looking into getting an ultrasonic cleaner because I'm starting to get tired of using lacquer thinner for clearing out my airbrushes. It would be a great idea. So I got, hit the button, let it run for a while, and that's the end of it. Ta-da, finished. Of course, I'm going to get new paint racks, which is a given because now I got the Vallejo and Polyscale starting to eventually fade out. I still got a few bottles from the discontinued line. Tamiya, I got the Testers, Goon Sangyo, or GSI Krios. They're still in good shape. But like I said, I'm going to need more paint racks. I'm going to need a bigger paint shelf, because I'm running out of space. I think that's what hampered me from clearing my workbench off altogether. And more or less, I'm just getting things going. What else? Hopefully, of course, like I said, get a bookshelf. And I'm sure a lot of you modelers still have the same issue. Sometimes it's just things get out of hand, or you got to reorganize. And it's kind of weird because even though I got a lot of junk on my bench, I only work off a small space like this, maybe at most. But I think the other reason why is so I could place my sub-assemblies and parts in my box with the kit I'm working on whatsoever, so this way I don't get all over the place. I've had quite a few debacles involving that. Basically, I'm just chattering, and the reason why I'm, like I said, the whole funk, it's kind of put a hamper on everything. It has, but I will get better. But this turns out to be a blessing in disguise for me because it gives me time to just breathe, and figuratively, in a sense, and get away from everything. So I can focus on everything else I got to do, which is a good thing. And once the bug bites again, the modeling bug, I'll start building. I'll probably finish off the half builds I got to get going, or should finish up that Abrams in the back. That Dragon Abrams is a pain in the ass, so to speak. But it's a challenge and it's a fun kit to work on, despite its challenges and its fit issues. I mean, to be fair, it is Dragon. Dragon is known for pretty box art. Well, back then they used to be. This was like the mid-90s. Now they're fits better and they're pretty creative. I mean, who knows? I'm just talking. I just need to play in an outlet event. Like you say, I'm not, the whole fun thing. It's not, as I said before, it's not anything serious. It's not a cry for help. It's not I feel lonely or my life stinks. It's just I am just bad. I just got a case of the blahs. That's it. And then I should have known, like I said, ever after I finished up the P47 from Tamaya. Yeah, like you guys can really see that as I point to everything. I couldn't finish anything anyway. Then vacation, as soon as after done with the P47, went on vacation with my wife and my son to Disney. Yay! I like Disney. It's a pretty nice place to hang out at. We'll talk about that later. And I came back and I just really couldn't get anything going. I was starting to work on the Skyhawk kit, but I looked at it and was like, no, I'm not interested. So I took a breather for everything. Breather from that, started working on M60, realized I didn't want to do that. Like you said, and that's that. So hopefully we'll get out of this funk and things will get, and I'll have an interesting journal to do, or I'll just finish up with these things, continue other videos, and once I get an ambitious project going, like I did with the F-15E Strike Eagle or the P-47, we'll see what happens from there. So this is all I got, guys. Okay, happy modeling, take it easy, blah blah blah, and things will get better. So I'll let you know how my mood is eventually as I go along. Take care, guys. Talk to you again soon.